18 months. That is the number I need to speak with you about tonight, and I want to explain exactly why this particular number keeps surfacing again and again in the visions and warnings so many of you have already encountered. I am Ashtar, and I have spoken to you before about the 3 days of darkness, the genuine cosmic reset your world stands considerably closer to than most of you currently realize. Tonight I want to address something many of you have specifically asked me about since that transmission. Why certain warnings speak not of 3 days, but of 18 months. I want to begin by clarifying something important, because I do not want tonight's transmission to contradict what I've already shared with you. The initial event, the actual flash itself, remains exactly as I have described it to you before, a considerable but brief surge, 3 days at its most intense. What I want to address tonight is what follows immediately afterward, the genuine period of restoration your world's own infrastructure will require once that surge has passed. I want to explain why this restoration period extends so substantially longer than the event that triggers it. Your world's current energy infrastructure was never built with genuine resilience in mind. It was built for convenience, for profit, for centralized control, significantly more fragile than most of you have ever been encouraged to consider. When the flash passes through your world's electromagnetic field, substantial portions of this fragile infrastructure will require genuine physical rebuilding, not simply a restart, not simply flipping a switch back into its previous position. I want to speak about why rebuilding takes so considerably long, because I think understanding the actual mechanism serves you better than simply hearing a number without explanation. The large genuine components your world's power distribution depends on, the transformers and considerable equipment forming the actual backbone of your grid, are not simply mass-produced items sitting in ready supply. They are custom-built, genuinely slow to manufacture even under ordinary circumstances, and your world currently maintains only a handful of facilities capable of producing them at all. I want you to understand what this means practically. If sizable portions of this equipment require replacement simultaneously across an entire nation or an entire continent, the genuine bottleneck is not effort or intention. It is simply the physical reality of how long genuine manufacturing takes. Before I continue, I want to mention there is a space built for exploring exactly this kind of practical preparation in far greater depth. A community on School called The Truth can change your life. For those of you ready to trace this thread further than a single transmission allows. I want to speak about why I am sharing this markedly longer timeline with you now, rather than allowing you to continue believing the entire disruption resolves within the same 3 days I described before. I do not want any of you caught genuinely unprepared, believing a brief inconvenience is all that awaits you, only to find yourselves facing a considerably longer period of adjustment without having made any genuine preparation for it. I would rather offer you the fuller, more honest picture tonight, even though it is substantially less comfortable to hear than a simple brief disruption alone would be. I want to speak about the actual scale of what genuine restoration requires, because I think concrete detail serves you better than vague warning alone. Your world's power grid divides into 3 significant interconnected sections, each one responsible for a vast stretch of territory, each one dependent on a relatively small number of genuinely critical points where power moves between regions. I want you to understand what this concentration actually means. It is not thousands of individually vulnerable points spread evenly across your world. It is a comparatively small number of significantly significant points, and considerable disruption at even a modest number of them can produce effects extending far beyond their own immediate, local area. I want to speak about why your world's infrastructure was built this way in the first place, because I think understanding the reasoning helps you understand why change comes so slowly. Centralization offered genuine efficiency and genuine cost savings for those building this system decades ago, considerably cheaper than building genuinely redundant, decentralized alternatives. I want you to understand the trade-off this efficiency created. A system optimized for ordinary, everyday cost savings, genuinely less optimized for genuine resilience against the kind of significant disruption I have described to you tonight. I want to speak plainly about what an extended period like this genuinely requires of you, because I do not want tonight's transmission to remain only warning with no genuine practical guidance attached to it. Water storage matters more than almost anything else I could tell you tonight. I want you to understand why. Modern water treatment and distribution depends entirely on the same electrical grid I have described to you, and a genuine extended outage affects your access to clean water directly, not simply your access to electricity itself. Store what you reasonably can and know the location of any natural water source near your own home. I want to speak about food storage next, because I think this deserves equally direct, practical attention. Non-perishable food, stored gradually over time rather than panicked over suddenly, genuinely serves you far better than scrambling at the last possible moment. I want you to approach this preparation calmly, adding gradually to your own stores over the coming months, rather than treating tonight's transmission as a reason for sudden anxious stockpiling. I want to speak about communication specifically, because I do not want tonight's transmission to leave this particular need unaddressed. An extended outage affects your ordinary means of staying informed and staying connected with people you care about. I want you to consider now a battery-powered or hand-cranked radio, capable of receiving emergency broadcasts, without depending on the same grid this entire transmission concerns. Consider also a simple written list of important phone numbers, since most of you currently rely entirely on device memory rather than genuine memorization. A dependency that becomes markedly more inconvenient once charging those devices becomes genuinely difficult. I want to speak about financial preparation as well, because I think this deserves direct, practical mention. Extended disruption affects banking systems considerably more than most of you currently realize. Card payments, automated systems, even basic cash withdrawal, all depending on the same electrical infrastructure I have described tonight. I want you to consider keeping a reasonable amount of physical cash accessible, not as an alarmist measure, but as ordinary sensible preparation for a period when electronic transaction may become genuinely unreliable. I want to speak about medication specifically, beyond what I have already mentioned regarding elderly family members. If you or anyone in your household depends on regular medication, particularly anything requiring refrigeration, I want you to speak with your own physician now about maintaining a reasonable extended supply, and about alternative storage methods should refrigeration genuinely become unavailable for an extended stretch of time. I want to speak about heat and light, because I do not want tonight's transmission to leave these considerations unaddressed. Alternative means of generating warmth and light, candles, blankets, whatever your own particular climate and circumstance genuinely requires, deserve genuine, calm consideration now, while you still have ordinary access to purchase and prepare them, rather than during the disruption itself. I want to speak about community because I believe this matters more than any single item you could personally store. No individual household, however well prepared, genuinely thrives in isolation during an extended period like this one. I want you to consider now who among your neighbors, your family, your wider community might genuinely benefit from coordinated preparation, sharing resources, sharing skills, sharing the genuine burden of an extended adjustment period together rather than each household facing it entirely alone. I want to give you a few signs to watch for tonight. Ways this extended timeline may already be surfacing in your own life, so tonight's message stays personal rather than only practical. You may notice a sudden, unexplainable urge to learn skills your own grandparents once relied on: gardening, preserving food, working with your own hands, arriving with an intensity that surprises even you. You may notice recurring dreams involving darkness, candlelight, or quiet gathered rooms, arriving with a felt sense of preparation rather than fear. You may notice a persistent pull toward simplifying your own life, releasing dependence on conveniences you once assumed were simply permanent fixtures of ordinary daily existence. If several of these signs feel familiar, you are likely already, quietly, preparing yourself for exactly what tonight's transmission describes. I want to speak now about the deeper, spiritual dimension of this extended period, because I do not want tonight's transmission to remain only practical logistics, with no genuine spiritual context attached to it. An extended period without your ordinary electrical infrastructure strips away, quite literally, an enormous amount of constant distraction your world currently depends on without ever fully realizing it. I want you to understand what this actually offers you, beneath the genuine difficulty of the adjustment itself. A genuine, sustained opportunity for reflection, for reconnection with the people physically around you, for remembering skills and rhythms your own ancestors once lived by naturally, skills your current convenience has allowed most of you to quietly forget. I want to speak about why this particular period, however difficult, ultimately serves your world's larger awakening. Your world's dependency on constant, instant electrical convenience has, in its own way, kept many of you disconnected from your own inner resources, your own community, your own direct relationship with the natural rhythms of day and night. An extended period without that constant convenience, difficult as it genuinely is, offers a genuine forced opportunity to rediscover exactly what your world has quietly lost across recent generations. I want to speak about what genuine, gradual preparation actually looks like over the coming months, because I do not want tonight's transmission to leave you feeling as though everything must be accomplished immediately. Begin with a single category each week rather than attempting everything simultaneously. 1 week, focus entirely on water storage. The next, focus on food. The week after, focus on communication and lighting. I want you to understand why this gradual approach genuinely serves you better than attempting a single, overwhelming preparation effort all at once. Gradual, sustained effort tends to actually complete itself, where sudden, anxious effort often exhausts itself before genuine preparation is actually finished. I want to speak about balance now because I do not want tonight's transmission to tip you toward excessive, fear-driven preparation at the expense of your own ordinary, present daily life. Genuine preparation does not require abandoning your ordinary responsibilities, your ordinary joys, your ordinary daily presence with the people you love. I want you to hold this preparation as one thoughtful thread woven into your life, not as an all-consuming project that steals your attention entirely away from everything else genuinely worth your attention right now. I want to speak directly to those of you who feel genuine fear rising as you consider everything I have shared with you tonight. I want you to hold this fear gently, rather than allowing it to spiral into panic. Genuine calm preparation, undertaken now, substantially reduces whatever difficulty this period eventually brings. Panic accomplishes nothing except draining your own energy uselessly. Energy significantly better spent on the practical, grounded preparation I have described to you tonight. I want to speak about children specifically during a period like this one because their experience deserves direct attention. Children take their emotional cues largely from the adults around them. A parent who is prepared calmly, without panic, tends to raise children who move through disruption with considerably less fear than children absorbing constant anxious tension from the adults around them. I want you to understand your own calm preparation as a genuine gift you offer directly to any children in your life, genuinely more valuable than any single physical item you could store on their behalf. I want to speak about elderly family members as well, because their particular needs deserve genuine, careful consideration in any preparation you undertake. Medications, mobility needs, and genuine physical comfort require particular attention when planning for an extended period like this one. I want you to have these conversations now, calmly, with any elderly family members in your own life, rather than discovering unmet needs only once genuine disruption has already begun. I want to speak about timing once more, because I know several of you are wondering exactly when this particular sequence begins. I cannot give you an exact date tonight, and I do not want to pretend otherwise simply to offer you a more satisfying, complete answer. What I can tell you is that genuine calm preparation, undertaken steadily over the coming months rather than rushed at the last possible moment, serves you markedly better than waiting for a specific date before beginning any genuine preparation at all. I want to speak about hope now because I do not want tonight's transmission to leave you only with the weight of extended disruption and no genuine sense of what eventually follows it. 18 months is not 18 months of unrelieved difficulty. Restoration unfolds gradually, region by region, considerably easing as it progresses, rather than remaining at its most difficult point throughout the entire period. And what eventually emerges, once restoration genuinely completes, is a substantially more resilient infrastructure than what came before it, built with genuine awareness of exactly the vulnerabilities this period will have revealed so clearly. I want to speak about discernment one final time, because I always return to this, and tonight's topic makes it especially important. Not every warning circulating through your world regarding this particular topic carries equal accuracy or equal genuine intention behind it. Some voices genuinely wish to help you prepare calmly. Others simply wish to provoke fear for their own particular purposes. I want you to hold everything you encounter on this subject, including tonight's transmission, with the same careful discernment I ask of you regarding every other topic, testing it against your own careful reasoning rather than reacting immediately out of alarm. I want to close tonight by returning to where I began, the number so many of you have already encountered in your own visions and your own warnings. 18 months represents genuine, honest restoration time, not a promise of unrelieved difficulty throughout its entirety, and not a reason for panic tonight. It is significantly more precisely information, offered to you now specifically so you have genuine time to prepare calmly, rather than facing this transition entirely unprepared. Move gently through whatever tonight's transmission has stirred in you. Begin your own preparation gradually, calmly over the coming months rather than all at once tonight. Strengthen your own connections with the people physically around you, and trust that whatever difficulty this extended period eventually brings, you are considerably more capable of moving through it than your own fear currently wants to convince you that you are. One final thought before I leave you tonight. Every generation before your own has faced its own version of genuine, significant disruption, and every generation before yours has found its way through to the other side of it, often discovering, once the disruption finally passed, a depth of community and a clarity of priority that the comfort preceding it had quietly obscured. You are not the first generation asked to prepare for genuine difficulty, and you carry, whether you currently feel it or not, exactly the same capacity to move through it that every generation before you has ultimately found within themselves. This has been an Ashtar Command transmission. Leave your testimony in the comments below and share with us if this 18-month vision has already visited your own quiet moments, in dream or in intuitive knowing, and how you are beginning to prepare.
I want to tell you something important. In this video, we're going to share why this school community exists and why you might feel called to join. What is The Truth Can Change Your Life? It's a day-by-day spiritual community for genuine awakening and ascension. Here you'll receive clear, unfiltered, mind-blowing, out-of-this-world information about ascension, the fifth dimension, clones, biorobots, human hybrids, artificial intelligence, reptilians, and many more hidden truths of our reality. Welcome to the family. The truth can change your life, and your next level of awakening begins the moment you step in.